It's time to once again go over the best PlayStation 4 game deals available right now, and in this edition we are exclusively looking at the PlayStation Critics' Choice sale that's going on the PlayStation Network right now. This sale is awesome, it's got some fantastic deals, and as always, if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you'll get a little bit more of a discount, and we are assuming the majority of you are Plus subscribers, so those are the prices we're going to be mentioning. With that out of the way, let's get right into this. Dying Light the Following Enhanced Edition for $15. Dying Light finally has a significant sale going on, and this is the Following Enhanced Edition, which is an even better version of Dying Light. It's got more content, improved visuals, gameplay enhancements, etc. And this was a pretty early game in the PlayStation 4's life cycle. It came out around 2015. This version was released in 2016. So at this point, a title that a lot of you guys may have forgotten about, but it is a fantastic game, and I would highly recommend you to check it out. And for $15, you're getting a lot of content for your money. I should mention, alternatively, you can pick up the standard Dying Light game for just $10. I would recommend the Following Enhanced Edition, however, you're only paying an extra $5, and the benefits you get definitely warrant that. The Last of Us Remastered for $10. The Last of Us is one of the best PlayStation exclusives of all time, not just one of the best PlayStation 4 exclusives, just one of the best games ever released on a PlayStation platform. It is that good. Coming from the guys over at Naughty Dog, this was really the swan song to the PlayStation 3's life, and of course, a year after its initial release, it was ported over to the PlayStation 4. Better visuals, better technical performance, you've got the DLC, and if you've yet to play The Last of Us, you are doing yourself a major disservice. This is one of the best games ever created from a storytelling standpoint. The gameplay is great, and it's got a pretty decent multiplayer component to it as well. It's a great game, and if you have a PlayStation 4 Pro, you're getting even more benefits on top of that. At just $10, this is a game you absolutely should check out. Nioh the Complete Edition for $25. This is a fantastic deal on Nioh, which was one of the more highlighted PlayStation 4 exclusives of 2017, and it was really one of the best ones. A lot of gamers drew comparisons to the Souls franchise, and I can definitely see that. It's got that challenging element to it, but it's also got a more direct story, and the gameplay nuances are a bit different on the surface. You can definitely see the Souls similarities, but when you play it, you see that it's a lot more than that, and Nioh has a fantastic setting as well, and with the Complete Edition, you do get all of the DLC, including the Dragon of the North, Defiant Honor, as well as Bloodshed's End, so this is a great way to experience Nioh, and at $25, it's a good pickup for the Complete Edition, which is still a relatively recent release. Speaking of Complete Editions, I would be foolish not to mention the deal on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition, which is available for $20. This is a deal that's regularly available for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, but that doesn't change the fact that it is an exceptionally great deal. This includes the base Witcher 3 game, and you also get the Blood and Wine as well as Hearts of Stone expansions and a couple of other smaller DLC packs as well. Basically, what I'm saying is you are getting an absolutely gigantic game for your money. We're talking north of 150 hours, maybe even more than that, and what's fantastic about The Witcher 3 is that it's not something where it prioritizes quantity over quality. It has the best of both worlds. All the content in the game is meaningful and has a purpose of being in the game, and not only that, it does have a fantastic story, and visually it does look really good, even though it does lag a little bit behind on the PlayStation 4, but still it looks and runs great, especially if you are playing on a Pro. For $20, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition is a bargain. Gravity Rush 2 for $18. Gravity Rush 2 was another one of the major PlayStation 4 exclusives released in 2017, but unfortunately for this title, it went really under the radar. Commercially, it looks like this game wasn't a gigantic success, and that's a shame because it is a fantastic follow-up to the first Gravity Rush game, and that game was really good, but it was released on the PlayStation Vita, later ported over to the PlayStation 4, but you could tell that game was originally a PlayStation Vita title. With Gravity Rush 2, it was a game built ground up for the PS4, and that shows. You've got more content, better gameplay, the story's better. All around, Gravity Rush 2 is just a far better game than the first title, and at $18, this is such a great deal, and I know that this is a game so many of you missed out on. Definitely give it a look. Next up, we have Horizon Zero Dawn the Complete Edition for $32.50. How about that? Another massive PlayStation 4 exclusive released in 2017. However, Horizon Zero Dawn didn't falter from a commercial standpoint. It was just revealed that the game has sold 7.6 million copies in the last year, and what I have to say about that is all of those sales are well deserved because Horizon Zero Dawn is a fantastic game coming from the guys over at Guerrilla Games. That's the studio that also did the sci-fi first-person shooter franchise in Killzone, However, you can tell right away that Horizon Zero Dawn is a far different game. It's a post-apocalyptic open-world RPG in a world dominated by mech-like creatures. It's a very unique game, and Guerrilla Games really delivered in creating a new IP. What's great about this, too, is that this is the Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, so you get the base game as well as the Frozen Wilds expansion, and that expansion has a good amount of content. You're talking about another 8 to 12 hours of gameplay, so it's a really solid expansion, and it's got some other benefits, a digital art book, a dynamic theme, all that good stuff. But the game itself for $32.50, still a little bit on the pricey side, but given the fact it is the Complete Edition, I'll let it slide. It's a great game, and I would highly recommend you to check it out. Next up, we have Limbo and Inside the Bundle for $9. Playdead created one of the most iconic indie games of all time in Limbo. That game was released on just about every platform, from last generation platforms, mobile platforms, PC, current gen platforms, and it'll probably be re-released for a very long time. And while most of you guys played Limbo, it is still a fantastic game to go through, and this bundle of course does also include Playdead's more recent title in Inside. Inside was originally released as an Xbox One timed exclusive, and then it released on PlayStation 4 a few months later, so it kind of lost a little bit of its fanfare, and a lot of PS4 owners didn't give the game a look. However, if you enjoyed Limbo, Inside is just that. It's very dark, very atmospheric, and the presentation style of the game is really good. It released at around $20, so now you can get both Limbo and Inside for just $9. That's a great deal on a pair of awesome indie games. Okami HD for $14. Okami is one of the best PlayStation 2 games released, and that says a lot because the PlayStation 2 was stacked with amazing games, but Okami stood out as one of the top 1 or 2% of those. The game did see a lot of comparisons to titles such as The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and looking at the game and the art style, I can see those comparisons. However, Okami is also an excellent game in its own right. It's got some incredible presentation, very unique gameplay, and the storytelling is done really well too. Of course, with Okami HD, you've got some visual refinements and all that good stuff, but what's really great about this is the essence of Okami. It lives in Okami HD, and unfortunately, we never saw an Okami 2. We did get Okami Den on the DS, but it's such a great game. It deserves a sequel, and maybe if enough of you guys check out Okami HD someday, that'll happen. But regardless, $14 for the game is a must-buy. Next up, we have Zero Escape the Nonary games for $20. Visual novels are starting to gain more and more traction, especially over here in the West. It's definitely not a premier genre in terms of mainstream gaming, however, they have been gaining more and more popularity. You saw with titles such as Danganronpa and Steins Gate, they're getting more and more attention, and Zero Escape is another great franchise, and with this collection, you get 999 as well as Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward, two exhilarating games that'll have you on the edge of your seat. You really can't get into the story without getting into spoilers, and on the surface, you might think this isn't really a game for me, but I'm telling you, give it a look, give it a couple of hours, and you will be absolutely hooked. That's usually how it goes with these visual novels. You have to give them a little bit of time, and yes, they are super story-driven, light on the gameplay, but they are very much worth a play, and for $20, you're getting two awesome games. And finally, Hellblade Senua Sacrifice for $21. Hellblade Senua Sacrifice was the latest game from Ninja Theory, and they're a very talented studio. They've worked on titles such as Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, DMC, Devil May Cry, and the game Hellblade Senua Sacrifice is seen as a spiritual successor to In Heavenly Sword. And honestly, initially when I saw Hellblade Senua Sacrifice, I was very apprehensive about the game. The gameplay looked a little muddled, and I just didn't know how this title was gonna turn out, but Ninja Theory shocked all of us and delivered one of the most atmospheric games ever. It's set in a Viking age, and the main character is so engaging, and it's a very psychological game with some great gameplay elements thrown in there. It did release at $30, so this isn't that significant of a discount, but keep in mind it did release back in August, so it's still a pretty recent game, and for this price, I still have to say, $21, it is worth it. So that is gonna conclude this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What games out of this sale are you gonna check out? We are interested to know. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.